Okay guys, here we have a 2010 LMM Duramax, and this truck came in and needs a new CP3, getting low rail pressure. It's got a race plug already installed on it, didn't fix the problem. But I'm going to show you real quick how to check your boost. So what you do is you pull off your hot side intercooler tube. You can build a kit from the hardware store fairly cheap. This is actually a purchase kit just because we do so many of them. We got a quick connect fitting here, but this hose will run back, because what you're going to do, you're going to pressurize after the turbo. So you're going to run this down. Here we've got our gauge, our regulator, and our air supply. So what we're going to do, we're going to bring it up. It's going to take a little bit, just a minute, to fill the charged air system. And I've got my regulator set about 20-25 psi. Now I'm going to kill this air. As you can see, we're dropping psi. If you listen close, I don't know if you can hear it, but we've got a hiss coming from down below. And we've already looked at this and determined that this hiss is coming from the EGR valve. And so the solution to this is, a lot of guys remove it. You can also go through, put a new EGR valve in it. You could take this assembly apart and clean it. There's several ways to go about it. But nonetheless, there you found your leak. It won't always be there. You'll find it sometimes in these boots when you get down towards the radiator. Sometimes on these trucks, the hot side intercooler pipe will rub on the steering shaft a little bit, cause a leak back there. But this is very key to making sure that your truck is running as good as it can. The owner, which happens to be my brother-in-law, was only seeing at most 15-18 psi on the boost. This truck should be running a little higher than that. But now we know where the leak is. This leak doesn't seem horrible right now, but it could be just because when we force the air to it, it pushed the EGR valve closed a little bit more. But nonetheless, we will get in there, we will address that, and take care of it. Another quick thing I'll run past you. Most of these trucks have a fuel port here. And so a lot of you guys getting problems with rail pressure codes as well. This needs to be something you check. We've got a specific gauge for this. We plug onto here. You can pressurize the, can't hardly see it, but pressurize the fuel filter housing. And we've got our gauge here. Couple pushes with the primer. You can see it jumps up. It'll slowly bleed off a little bit. This truck does have a lift pump on it, so that's another thing we check. We turn the key to run, make sure the lift pump's charging the system up. These filter heads are common for leaking, but this one we don't believe is an issue. There's not really any fuel coming from it, so this one should be pretty well good to go. So there you go. That's what that port's for. These gauges are pretty cheap. You can find them online. It's worth having. That way it makes a quick diagnostic that you're going to pay a shop a good chunk of money for them to go in and look at it. So there you go. Nice clean 2010 LMM. Almost 300,000 miles on it. And just getting into some basic fixes on it. So good trucks. Thanks guys.